How do you maintain what you're doing at the moment, Derek? I'm fascinated by, you used the word this time last week, repetition. How do you go again and go again and go again and get on a run like the one you're on?
Yeah, I mean, we've had to change the squad about a bit. We had 3 players last weekend suspended, so we missed out on them. We had a couple of injuries and we had to change the squad about. But what happened was that quite seamlessly the players came back into the reckoning, had an opportunity and did very well in the game. And that's what a good squad is all about, is having a ready-made player ready to come in and play. And Mellon obviously got the headlines because he scored a hat-trick, which is great for him. JG got another goal for him, and we just started that second half really well, and we're very focused.
How do you prepare those who aren't playing at the moment but you're going to need in the future? Are they interchangeable in training? Do they know the job immediately? When you have to bring players in like you did at the weekend, is it obviously different individuals, but is it like taking one piece of a jigsaw out and putting a very similar piece in?
Yeah, that's what I like to try and do. I think that I don't, when we play one system, everyone's got to understand the system we're playing. And then, one player drops out, then the other one does just go in and understands the role, knows what we want from them, and we go forward from there. But, we work on it in the training ground a couple of days before the game, and everyone's got an idea of what they're doing.
Is it easier for everybody to feel part of it when you don't have 30 players, say?
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked to work with a smaller squad because that's what brings success. The success comes by having a good team spirit. And I don't see many clubs with good team spirits and doing well when they have so many players to choose from, because you're always going to have unhappy players. We've got a 22-player squad at this moment in time, so that means every given Saturday there's 4 players out of it, either injury or suspension. But that's a risk in itself, because we're working to a smaller squad. We saw that on Saturday. We didn't have a full bench on Saturday, but this weekend we've got 5 players back. This Tuesday we've got 5 players back in contention. So, from that point of view, you just have to deal with it on a game-by-game basis.
Does this have the potential to be the most difficult team selection of the season then? Because they were great at the weekend and you've got 5 coming back who will all want to play. Yeah,
I mean, it can be. I've got to look at it in a couple of different ways. Did the ones that came in do well enough? Yes, they did. There's no doubt about that. Do I then look at it and change the personnel because of the game that we're going to play on Tuesday night? I could do that. Do I change formation? Do I do a few things? But that's all in the guessing game. And but I've got to, make that decision now for tomorrow night.
As far as the players are concerned, maintaining the form, maintaining the level of performance, how do you keep that motivation, or do they motivate themselves when they're winning? Do they just want more of that feeling?
No, I spoke about it this morning when we had our video analysis meeting. We spoke about our game on Saturday against Wimbledon, and I said to them at 5 o'clock that game was finished. It doesn't matter what happened, we won the game, and we move on. What we can now do is look forward to Tuesday night's game and be on top of it, because no one's going to give us any thanks for the game on Saturday. We need to go to Barrow and get a positive result from the game. And we understand Barrow are at home. They drew 0-0 on Saturday. We're the only game in the division this week. We've got games in hand in the teams above us, and this is one of our games in hand. Barrow will be thinking in a different way. They'll be trying to catch us. They'll be trying to say that they're on this long and beaten run. We want to try and stop it, but we want to continue this long and beaten run. I know what long and beaten runs are all about. We had a 40-game unbeaten run when I was at Ross County, getting to the Premier League. So, we've gone 8-9 games just now unbeaten. We want to continue and hold on to that, and the players have shown that hunger.
If you win, you'll be second. Psychologically, is that an incentive? Is that a big thing?
Yeah, it is. I think that to get that points total so early in the season, we've had some really good wins. One of them was on Saturday. We've got the players that are coming back from suspension and injury, which only helps the squad because there's added competition for places. So we're in a good place from that point of view. We just got to perform tomorrow night.
I've broken the habit of a lifetime and written something down in front of me. I'm interested in how it compares this season to the season you went to Wembley and got promoted. You've got more points, more wins, fewer defeats, more goals for and fewer goals against. That suggests that the bar has been raised from then. How does it compare being in there and being at the heart of it?
I think the only difference is that we've got supporters in the stadium because we had a very good squad. We had competition for places all over, as I've spoken about. And when a player went out injured or suspended, they came in and performed well. And that was the reason why we had a success. We had a mixture of youthfulness and experience in the team. We all remember Gomez coming flying onto the scene at that moment in time. And we had good experience, all round the squad with like Toombs, who was a major asset to us. Jan was here. So that was really important in going forward, and we've got a similar mixture this year.
And to be better off than you were in that season, I know there's still a long way to go, but how strong a base, I think you're just shy of 2 points a game average, how strong a base is that for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's given us a points total to work from, and we all know that how many points are needed to get to mid-league table, how many points to the playoffs, how many points to automatic promotion. But at this moment in time, we've still got a lot of games to play for, but we've given ourselves a right chance of shocking a few in this league.
With 27 points on the board already, do you still look at 50 points and stay in the division as the first target, or does the bar go up because of the start you've had?
We probably still do look at that. I remember in the season where we got promoted, I never looked at that. I only looked at getting promoted, getting into the playoffs, and that was a major thing about. We wanted to become better than anyone else. Didn't matter the size of supporters, the crowds the other teams had. It didn't matter the money, because in that COVID season there was no supporters. It was all about money and 11 players on the pitch.
Having come down, is it just important to have that base and make sure that you're in the Football League next season? And if you've got 50 points in January, great.
No, I think it's different because I probably work in a different way from years gone by. At this football club was all about survival, and when I came into the football club, that had to change. The mentality had to shift, and that was from the top, from the supporters everywhere, and we changed the mentality. We changed it from being little old Morecambe to being Morecambe Football Club. And we started to then get recognition all over the country of not just being this little football team on the coast. It was renowned because we deserved it. We went and played the likes of Chelsea in the FA Cup, and we were on very good runs. We did well in League One as well because we had to fight above our weight. But people recognised what we were doing on the training pitch and in games, and the calibre of player that we were able to bring in. In
your previous spell, do you think you changed the mentality of the players? And have you now changed it more? Is it people around the club, people in the stands, people in the town even? Are you getting that impression that they're buying in as well? Yeah,
we definitely have changed that. I think that, and that's can be a good thing and a bad thing at that moment in time, because we are obviously working with one of the lowest budgets in the league. So we've got no right to be where we are, but what we are is because of what we do behind the scenes and the players that we take in, the players on the pitch, how they work, the supporter base that we've generated. We just have to look at what the season tickets were and now they are, and a crowd of over 4,000 here on Saturday. So that tells you that they want to come here and watch good football. They want to see goals, and they're certainly getting that.
I know you are still very keen for the off-the-field situation to be dealt with and resolved. Does it make it easier to have a successful football team? Both, there's less emphasis on it, and the club becomes a more attractive proposition.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said before, it is an attractive proposition because it's got a black canvas to work from. It's got no debt. It's a football club that's in the Football League. It's going to generate, income with a cup run or, player transfer. That's going to help, along the lines, because that's the model we're working from. The wage costs are very, very low. So if somebody had to come in, then, if they had to invest in some money, then they could see the benefits moving forward. And, I think that, in the future, it's a very good proposition for someone.
Just on the sort of bigger picture of the club and the job that you do, what drives you personally? What makes you get up in the morning and smile to yourself and think, I love this job?
The fear of failure, the fear of not doing well, wanting to be successful, wanting people to talk about your players, your staff, your football club going forward. When that happens, then you're doing something right. And we probably don't get the recognition that we deserve, and we probably never will, because we're not the biggest club in the country. But we're certainly turning a number of eyes, not only in radio but in television and other media outlets as well. When
you're the manager, when your name's above the door, is it all a reflection on you? The experience that people have at the club, the quality of the football, whether they've run out of pies? Do people sort of focus in on you because you're the manager?
Yeah, but the manager is only as good as the staff he has around about him and above. And he has to drive that aspect. And at times he becomes a person that some people don't like, because the standards that he wants and thinks that the football club need to go forward, sometimes people can't meet. And unfortunately, they have to move on to other things. But as a football club, I'm only as good as the staff that I hire.
Is there a time in your day when you're not thinking about football? I get the impression that it's all-encompassing.
No, I think about Saturday's gone and I have to think about the next game, because that's my job. And I don't switch off for it, because if I do switch off from it, then that's lazy. I think that you've got to be switched on. It's this the occupation you're in. You're under pressure all the time to get results. And if you don't, look at things in a thorough way, it doesn't mean that you make the decision right away. You sometimes give yourself an opportunity to take all the information in and then make a decision.
How do you deal with the stress of it then? Because it's got to be one of the most stressful occupations in the world. I mean, I think 18, 19 managers have gone already in the Football League.
That is probably the thing, is that there's only 92 managers in England. There's only 92 managers that have the opportunity to manage a football club. There's about 9,000, 90,000, 900,000, 9 million, 90 million people would like to be in the position that we are in. And that's why I wake up every morning and think, well, I've got that opportunity. How long can I be successful, stay in the job, as everyone in any walk of life wants to do? They want to get promotion, they want to do well, they want to get extra income, and they want to get success.
And I know you've been brought up around football, kind of steeped in it all your life, and we talked a few weeks ago about you having players who were in that situation, who were sons of professionals or whatever it may be. I guess you don't know anything different, do you?
I don't know, but I did go to college when I was still playing football and had a HND in electronic engineering. I know that side of the world as well. I do know what it was like to be a YTS and being brought up the hard way, having to wash cars, do the hoovering, do the washing, at football grounds, all the things that probably young apprentices don't do anymore and don't understand what it was to be a hardened YTS at that stage. And that's probably why we've all been successful, later on in their careers.
Do you think it's just about never taking it for granted?
Yeah, of course. There's not a one day. There's plenty of people who do take it for granted. And you see people getting jobs around the country as managers, coaches, and you think, how's he got that? And it's sometimes nowadays it's to do with agents a lot of the time that are able to shoehorn them into positions. But quite quickly you'll see them, fail. And that's what's happened.
Is it hard when you have those standards and you kind of look at the time that you put into it when you apply that to other people?
Yeah, but I've got a lot of good people here that help that, and it's important. I enjoy working with the players because I see the players working ever so hard. Why do some of them not get game time? Well, maybe in my view, they're not someone that I can trust to put on that field and do what I need them to do. And I need the players on the field to trust to do their job, provide something, a bit of brilliance. And that's what I see from, a number of these players in the team. They've either got a great work ethic or they can do something out of nothing.
I've got completely sidetracked because this is interesting. I meant to ask you about Eli King as well. I believe he was here at the weekend. What's the situation?
Yeah, we've got Connolly, Boudou, and Adam Mayer back in from suspension. We've got Donald Love that will come back into contention because of his foot injury, and Eli King will come back in as well. He had a situation where he had to go back to Cardiff, get some testing done, and now he's back with us. So we've got 5 players back for tomorrow night.
That must be a real boost.
It's a huge boost for us, to have that competition. We didn't have it on Saturday. To have all these players coming back in, it's given the players that were in the team, a look over their shoulder, and it's obviously given the players that weren't in the team a wee shock as well, because we're basically saying on Saturday, we haven't needed you on Saturday. You've got to fight your way back into this team.
Get money for your old phone. Mazuma Mobile.